Right now, one of the deadliest volcanoes in human history is quietly recharging. Mount Vesuvius, the same volcano that erased Pompeii in a single afternoon, has entered the longest silent period it has shown in nearly 500 years. And volcanologists are worried, because with Vesuvius, silence is not safety, silence is pressure building. More than 3 million people live within reach of this volcano. Entire cities sit on evacuation maps. And scientists warn that if Vesuvius awakens today, the outcome could be far worse than anything seen in the ancient world. Its last eruption in 1944 happened in an era with no satellites, no high-speed travel, and no megacities built directly on its flanks. Now, the next eruption would strike the heart of modern civilization, and the clock may already be ticking. On a clear day, Vesuvius looks almost peaceful, a green, rounded mountain overlooking the Bay of Naples. Tourists take photos from its crater rim. Entire neighborhoods live directly on its slopes as if nothing could ever happen, but that calm appearance is a lie. Vesuvius sits on one of Earth's most violent geological intersections. Below Italy, the African tectonic plate is diving beneath the Eurasian Plate. That collision melts rock into magma. Thick, gas-filled, explosive magma. Unlike the gentle lava flows seen in Hawaii, Vesuvius produces magma so sticky it traps gas until the pressure becomes impossible to contain. When it erupts, it doesn't gently ooze, it detonates. And Vesuvius is actually two volcanoes stacked together. The older Monte Somma caldera forms a massive outer ring. Inside it sits the younger, more dangerous cone, the one that erupted in 79 AD, a volcano inside a volcano, a pressure chamber inside a pressure chamber. Everything about this structure screams instability. Every time people talk about Vesuvius, one eruption dominates the conversation. The year 79 AD. Pliny the Younger wrote of a mountain rising on fire and ash falling so thick it turned daylight into night. What most people forget is that Pompeii wasn't destroyed by lava, it was destroyed by pyroclastic surges. Imagine a 300°C hurricane of ash and poisonous gas racing down the slope at over 100 miles an hour. No one outruns it, no one survives it. Pompeii, Herculaneum, Stabiae, entire Roman cities were erased in hours. Thousands died before they even realized what was happening. But history didn't end there. 472 AD, ash traveled all the way to Turkey. 1631, thousands killed in minutes as surges tore through villages. 1906, Naples evacuated. 1944, the last eruption, destroying homes and even melting aircraft on a nearby airfield. For centuries, Vesuvius erupted every few decades. Then suddenly, it stopped. And that is what terrifies scientists today. After 1944, Vesuvius entered a period of complete silence, the longest in centuries. No lava, no major gas emissions, no explosions, but silence doesn't mean sleep. Under the mountain, sensors detect microquakes, tiny fractures opening deep in the cone. Ground tilt sensors pick up subtle swelling. Even the volcano's temperature changes slightly from year to year. These aren't random, they're whispers, signs of magma slowly reorganizing below the surface. And here's the worrying part. Scientists know that long dormant periods often precede the most explosive eruptions. The magma cools, thickens, traps more gas, and becomes increasingly volatile. Think of a soda bottle. The longer it sits sealed and shaken, the bigger the blast when it opens. Just west of Vesuvius lies another threat, Campi Flegrei, a massive caldera capable of super eruptions. And lately, it has been extremely restless. In 2024 and 2025, earthquake swarms shook the region. Buildings cracked, streets lifted, evacuations were issued. Volcanologists warned that parts of the ground were rising faster than any time in recorded history. Here's why that matters. Vesuvius and Campi Flegrei share the same deep magmatic plumbing system. If one becomes more pressurized, the other feels the strain. It's like having two balloons connected by a tube. Squeeze one, and pressure increases in the other. This is why scientists are on edge, because both volcanoes are showing signs of unrest at the same time. People imagine lava trickling down the slopes. Wrong volcano. Vesuvius kills with explosive ash, shockwaves, and pyroclastic surges. If it erupted today, the first warning might be a column of ash punching miles into the atmosphere, earthquakes rattling windows, the sky darkening in minutes. Then, without much warning, pyroclastic flows could rip through the red zone, where over 600,000 people live. These flows can travel 10 to 15 kilometers in minutes. They destroy everything. But that's just the immediate danger. Ashfall could collapse roofs in Naples. Airports across Europe could shut down. Water supplies could be contaminated. Power outages could cascade across the region. Airlines would ground flights across the Mediterranean. Solar radiation would scatter off ash particles, dimming the sun. Tourism would collapse overnight. Archaeological sites, priceless and irreplaceable, could be buried again. This isn't speculation. Vesuvius has done all of this before. Italy does have an evacuation plan. In theory, once scientists detect clear signs of magma rising, the government would trigger a 72-hour evacuation of the red zone. Buses would move hundreds of thousands of people to safer regions, in theory. But Naples is a maze of narrow roads, ancient alleys, jammed traffic, and coastal bottlenecks. Evacuating even a small suburb takes hours. Evacuating 600,000 people during panic, with ash falling, with earthquakes shaking buildings, this is the part scientists don't like to talk about publicly. There is no world where this evacuation goes smoothly. Not unless the warning signs come early, and clearly, but Vesuvius isn't known for generosity. The Osservatorio Vesuviano has one of the most advanced volcano monitoring networks on Earth. Seismometers record every tremor, GPS stations track every millimeter of ground movement, gas sensors analyze every puff of sulfur, satellites scan the entire region from space. And still, no one can predict the exact timing of an eruption. Vesuvius has a history of false alarms. Sometimes the magma moves, but stops before reaching the surface. Other times, eruptions happen with only hours of warning. It's unpredictable, unstable, and capable of changing behavior in minutes. That's what makes it so dangerous. Scientists agree on one thing: Vesuvius will erupt again. The only questions are, how powerful will it be? And will we be ready? New tools, like AI-assisted seismic analysis and high-resolution radar satellites, could help detect early signs. But technology can only buy time. The real danger is how society responds when that time runs out. If the next eruption is small, Naples could survive with moderate damage. If it's large, the region could face one of the worst natural disasters in modern European history. But the one scenario everyone fears most is this: a sudden eruption with little warning, just like Pompeii. Vesuvius is a symbol of Italy, a mountain of beauty, tragedy, history, and life. But it is also a reminder that nature doesn't care about cities, borders, or timelines. It erupts when it wants to erupt, and the longer the silence lasts, the more violent the next chapter is likely to be. If you lived in Naples, would you stay, or would you move away from the world's most dangerous volcano? Drop your answer below. I'm genuinely curious. And if you want more deep dive documentaries like this, make sure you're subscribed. This planet has stories most people never hear, but you will.